Hello and welcome to another video from the only channel that you need to not only survive the current apocalypse but actually enjoy it. In today's video, just going to be an update of what's going on in my life because, we all recognize patterns and we like our patterns to be nice and steady. And I know for a lot of people, a big part of their life is watching my Bible videos. And you're always going to get one or two every month, sometimes one a week. But that's not what you're getting right now. And if you've been subscribed to my channel for any length of time, you'll notice that there is no pattern here. Sometimes I'm making a video every week, then I'll go 3 or 4 months without making any Bible videos. A lot of that is because my Bible videos are the most important thing in my life, which means that I set aside everything else like house maintenance, automobile maintenance, maintenance of my forest. And it eventually gets to a point where my house is falling apart, my car is falling apart, and my forest is falling apart, and I'll just stop. And that's kind of what's going on here. Now, I don't have a regular schedule for how I do that, but when I'm in a really, really good mood, and I feel really good about my life, and I can sit back and think about things deeply, I make Bible videos. Usually, it takes some kind of emotional turmoil to shut my channel down. I don't just one day wake up and say, okay, time to clean the house. But the good thing is that when I'm going through emotional turmoil, I may not be able to think about things deeply and I may not be able to feel good about myself, but I can still do chores. So for the last couple of months, I've been doing a lot of chores around the house, fixing things that I have been needing fixing forever. I've been out here pushing my mower around and pruning my fruit trees and my native plants. And so things are getting done that are making me feel good. But I'm going to explain to you where the turmoil is coming from, because you're going to see a regular cycle, and it seems to me that this regular cycle comes around every year about this time. Maybe about 4 years ago, I had my first dedicated troll that decided he was going to try to wreck my YouTube channel, and it kind of made me upset and made me shut down for a very short amount of time. That was about 4 years ago. About 3 years ago, I got the same thing, only this time the troll actually was a very powerful troll who set up several web pages, YouTube channels, just about me. And that made me feel really bad because every video I would make, he would make a response video that was better than my video. I mean, the logic wasn't right, but it was better, yet editing quality, better video footage, better pictures. And it just, and he was putting links on every one of my videos to his video, and so some of my subscribers were going over there. I didn't see any of my subscribers go to his channel and stop coming to my channel. They just would go over there and say, why are you doing this? You know, Sustenance and Covering is a very good man. He's very reasonable. So it kind of was, as good as it was, it didn't feel good at the time. It kind of was scary. Then I think maybe right after that, the Jehovah's Witnesses found my YouTube channel and they started attacking me. And this year, it's my family. My family has found my YouTube channel and they have used that as an excuse to start attacking me as well. So when all that kind of stuff is going on, I don't just sit there and, mope about it. I fuel up my little lawn weed eater, and I get the batteries charged up on my little electric chainsaw. I get my loppers all oiled up and I come out here in the woods. Now, every year, in the 1st of October, a great big car show comes to my neighborhood. It's called Cruising the Coast. So now if you look that up, you know where I live, because Cruising the Coast is on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It goes all the way from the eastern tip of where there's population centers on the Mississippi Gulf Coast all the way to the western end of where there's population centers on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. And it's free for anybody that wants to go watch it. And there's thousands of antique and custom cars. So my wife and I will spend the entire, I think it's 8 days, just sitting on the beach in lawn chairs watching the cars go by, or we'll go to the mall and walk around the parking lot. There are thousands of antique cars. And as much as I hate gadgets and I hate technology, I do respect the art that goes into these vehicles, and it is very fun, mostly because it's free. And we make that our main event every year. My wife and I plan on this, and a month ahead of time we'll start washing all of our stuff. We'll go through all our clothes and burn everything that's got holes in it. The stuff we don't wear we take to Goodwill. We do our spring cleaning in the fall when this car show comes along. Well, this year, because I started getting attacked a month before that, I've actually already got all of my chores done for Cruising the Coast, and I've got another 3 weeks left. So we're going to just keep on going with our chores and stuff until Cruising the Coast is over, and then we'll get back on track. But another thing is, years ago I was videotaping events at Cruising the Coast for the local news station, and they never ever posted any of them on their TV, but they had a website, and you could go to that website and look at the videos. But now I just absolutely cannot locate them, because probably a gazillion people did the same thing I was doing, and it's pointless. I was interviewing the owners of the cars and stuff. But I did last year post a video on my family channel of a car at Cruising the Coast, and I'm not sure, but I think it's got like a 250,000 views. If I had set up a web page about Cruising the Coast, a YouTube channel about Cruising the Coast, I would be making good money off of that now if I had done many videos similar to that video, and I'm thinking that might be a good thing. So this year at Cruising the Coast, I'm bringing my camera. I'm going to interview a lot of the people that are at the Cruising the Coast. I'm going to actually set my car up with some cameras so I can videotape these vehicles while they're moving down the road. And if that turns out okay, I'll give everybody a link to my Cruising the Coast YouTube channel so that you can go take a look at what I'm doing. Hopefully that'll generate some income for me, and I can do more with my sustenance and covering channel. But anyways, here are some things that have been going on recently I've been talking about, and I'm going to let you take a look at some of the footage I shot of that just as part of this video. I have experienced a really bad bobcat moving in my neighborhood, and over the course of about 2 months he killed 40 of my chickens. And the only way I was able to confirm it was a bobcat was by setting up trail cams all around my property. And so we got a little bit of footage. I'll go ahead and show you that right now. This is the bobcat that has been attacking and killing my chickens. Well, all of a sudden, out of the blue, the bobcat stopped attacking my chickens. And I think a part of that is that a neighbor has moved in, a new neighbor's moved in with 2 great big bulldogs, and those bulldogs are like creeping around on my property a lot of the time, and that may be scaring the bobcat off. But at the same time, I caught a little bit of footage of a black coyote. Now, black coyotes are rather rare, but in some areas that's all they have. From what I understand, some people call them coy dogs because they believe that these black coyotes are actually coyotes that have bred with short-haired black dogs. So I posted a video of this a couple of weeks ago. I'll go ahead and show you that again right now. Initially, when I purchased my trail cams, it was not to capture video of the wildlife in my area. I'm very poor. When you're at my level of poverty, you have to make sure that every purchase is worth it. So I purchased the trail cameras because the first wave of persecution I experienced because of my YouTube channel. The Jehovah's Witnesses found out I had a YouTube channel. All of a sudden, my cat and dog were poisoned. My cat died. It took about $1,000 worth of vet bills to pull my dog through. One day I drove home and my whole beautiful garden was wilted, and I knew that somebody had sprayed something on my plants. There's no way that my whole garden would die in the same day. And I noticed I had less and less fruit trees, and one day when I was walking around my fruit trees, I noticed a stump sticking up about as big as my thumb that had been cut off with loppers. So I knew that that tree didn't just go away on its own. And I was losing chickens, and every time I would find a dead chicken and cut it open, I would find BBs in it. So I suspected that my Jehovah's Witness neighbors were doing all this damage, because every one of my neighbors all the way around my property is a Jehovah's Witness. I moved here because I was a Jehovah's Witness and I wanted to be close to my Jehovah's Witness brothers. When I left the organization, they kind of mistreated me, but they tolerated me until they discovered my YouTube Bible videos, and then after that it was, you know, open game on me, open season on me. So I never could catch them. I was on pins and needles all the time. I stopped making videos. I was constantly walking around my property trying to catch these people harming my, vandalizing my property or killing my animals. And I never did. So I went to Harbor Freight and I bought some driveway alarms. And the first day that I had my driveway alarms up, I hear that sound, dee 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 dee, and I'm out. I'm out the door and I'm going around trying to find out which alarm is going off, and sure enough, there in front of my school bus, which you can see in some of my videos, is my neighbor crouched down with a BB gun aiming at my chickens. So I took off after him. He ran and he goes up to his house, opens the door and throws his BB gun in, and he comes back out and he crosses his arm and he gets this big smile on his face. Now it was a fake smile, so I suspect he had to have been frightened that somehow he was going to jail or something. But he had a big smile on his face, so I tried reasoning with him and he just said some hateful thing back to me, so I cussed him out and I left. And I knew there was no point in calling the police and saying that my neighbor's shooting at my chickens, because all they're going to do is come over and talk to him, and he's going to realize that, he got away with it and he's going to start again. So I went out and bought trail cameras. Now it was quite a while before I had enough money to buy the trail cameras. They're about $150 a piece. I got almost $1,000 worth of them right now. And I set them up. First I only had 2 initially because I couldn't afford to go out and buy all of them at one time. But in first thing, just within a couple of days, I caught my neighbor, and he's out there trying to figure out he's walking around trying to figure out what's causing the driveway alarms to go off, because he knew that noise is what alerted me to his presence, and he knew that there had to be something out there. Well, he did eventually find it. And I would catch videotape of him after that, every other day or so, coming around the fence and waving his hand in front of that driveway alarm. And that went on for quite a while till one day I caught video of him, and he does this. And you'll see it. I'm going to go ahead and show you all that video now. And if you notice the date, it's the very last date. It's him looking directly into the camera, and after that I had no more problems. So these trail cams do work. Even though I didn't get evidence that I could use to send him to jail or anything, I did get him to stop attacking my family, which is really the only result I wanted anyway. You may have noticed that my neighbor looked rather cocky in that last clip of that video sequence, but as cocky as he may have looked, he never returned to make another appearance on any of my trail cams. So the trail cams do work. And you know, mostly the reason that he never came back is because he is religious. He's not a spiritual person, he's a religious person. In fact, he's an elder of the local Kingdom Hall here. And the way religious people think is different than the way a spiritual person thinks. A spiritual person thinks that a sin is anything you do that's wrong. A religious person thinks that anything you get caught doing is wrong. And so once you're caught, then it's a sin. And nobody wants to sin, right? I think the cameras work. They stopped him, and I think they're still working, because even though I'm undergoing persecution from my family, none of my family has made an appearance over here. They are well aware that I have trail cams. And I think that my brother-in-law and sister-in-law actually know that I have a surveillance system too. I'm not sure. I installed this thing about a year ago. Had 8 cameras in it. I only had it for about a month before it broke down, and it was under warranty. And instead of getting them to fix it, because I had about 30 days where I was in a constant fight with these people. So what I did was I packed the whole thing back up. I brought it to them. I got my money back. But I have since purchased a new system and installed it, and I am about as content as I can be right now, because I know that there's no way to override these security systems now. It's like, you know, you might think that if a person comes up and they spot the camera, they may burn your house down to destroy the evidence. Well, you know, the cameras are gone, the hard drive is gone, but these things, the way they work is they're hooked up to the internet. As long as you have an internet connection, they are uploading those videos. So even if somebody does destroy your system, all the video is still there in what they call the cloud. There's really actually two purposes to this video. One is to let you know I'm okay, and the other is to let you know what's actually going on. So I hope you understand that everything is okay here. We're not experiencing any kind of persecution at this time, and in fact we've got systems set up so that if we do experience persecution, that we have sufficient evidence to get the police involved to put an end to the persecution. But what's going on? Now, this is going to be good news, bad news for everybody. I am still excited about my forest. For people who love my forest videos, that's good news. I'm going to be out here working in the forest every day, and every other day or so I'll bring the camera out and show what I'm doing. Once I get enough footage, I'll make a video, and it will be a very good video about maintaining the forest and expanding the forest, and basically just taking another one of my normal annual forest walks to show you what this whole thing looks like. And another thing that's probably going to be bad news to everybody that watches my channel is that I'm going to be spending a lot of time on my other channel that you're not going to be interested in, the one about the car show and the cars. I've already got quite a bit of time invested in it because I have set up my personal vehicle as a video vehicle. We have right now 6 cameras permanently wired into the car. I say permanently wired. I took all the interior out and I ran wires to electrical outlets, 12-volt cigarette lighter outlets in the car, so that I could plug things in without having like a pot of spaghetti wiring harness laying all over me and my wife while we're trying to go down the road enjoying cruising the coast. And I'll actually do a video about that and post it on my other channel, a channel about the cars. And when I go to cruising the coast, every day I'll spend 2 or 3 hours there. I'll videotaping the whole time, and then I'll come home in the evening and do editing. But when the whole thing is over, instead of going right back into my YouTube channel, I'll probably be dedicating about 2 solid weeks to getting the Hot Rod channel up and running. So I'll be away. But if you're really, really interested in me, then you'll have access to that. It just won't be me talking about the Bible. Hopefully, once I get that up and running, and I do a video telling you that I've got it up and running, you'll go visit the channel to get me a little bit of traffic going on there, because I don't put any ads on my Bible videos, which is basically almost all I do on this channel. But I will be putting ads on those videos about hot rods. You can expect that, well, the hot rod show, the car show, ends in the middle of October. You can expect that I'll have all my videos done for the Hot Rod channel in the middle of October. I'll probably have them all edited together and posted by the end of October. And then I'll probably get right back to work on my Bible videos, because once that's in place, it should pretty much run on automatic. I've got quite a few Bible scripts that are already started from before all this happened. I should be able to finish one up within 2 weeks. So you just figure in the middle of November, you should once again be able to see some new sustenance and covering Bible videos. And hopefully I'll be able to stay on that and get a lot done quickly. Before I conclude this video, just to make sure we're all on the same page, I want you to understand that even though I'm telling you I'm happy, telling you I'm content, telling you I feel secure, it doesn't mean that I believe that that's permanent. Everything on this side of Christ taking over rulership of the earth is temporary. Until Satan and his demons are forcibly removed, we are all going to continue experiencing persecution. Right now, I am at the end of the last wave. So this time, while I'm awaiting the next wave of persecution, I'm going to do my best to be actively doing the things that I need to be doing with my YouTube channel. And each and every one of you can expect that until Christ returns, you also will experience persecution. Those who have allied themselves with Satan's civilization believe falsely that if they can get everybody on board, then it will make Satan's civilization the best way of life for human beings. Of course, that's not true, but when they find somebody who still worships the true God and refuses to fully vest themselves in this civilization, it enrages them. So you have to expect that when they find you, they are going to do everything they can to hinder you. Don't let that worry you. When this is all over with, and Jesus Christ restores the earth to the way it was supposed to be and resurrects the dead, we'll look back on this time as beneficial. I'm only saying that with my mouth. Even in my own head, I can't imagine a time like that. But it has to be understood that once you're experiencing paradise, the only thing to allow you to know it's paradise is the fact that in your past you experienced something that was not paradise. Hope to be able to get back to making some really good Bible videos in the very near future, hopefully nearer than what I stated. As always, I love every one of you. And also, as always, if you don't want to survive, don't listen to me.